So you just unlocked Garuda and you're wondering how to use it. In this video, we'll be going over all your iconic abilities, how to best utilize them, and fun combos you could do. So with that out the way, let's get into this, yeah? The main reason you should use Garuda is for its iconic feat, Deadly Embrace. By pressing your iconic feat button, you'll pull a small enemy towards you. You can use this on the ground or in mid-air. This is really good to help you isolate your enemies so you can kill them one by one before you get dogpiled. Once upgraded, you'll be able to grab enemies who are farther away. When used against an enemy that has a will gauge that's at 50%, you'll yank them to the ground for a longer window of free damage. This is absolutely amazing, and I utilize this a lot to get my enemies staggered at 50%. Before we move on, there's one interaction you may not be aware of. When you use Deadly Embrace on a medium or large enemy, you'll launch yourself into the air, and you can do this up to 4 times before you start descending back to the ground. I utilize this as a flashy dodge on my enemy's attacks, and another cool combo I'll go over later. Moving on to iconic abilities, Gouge is up first. This is a frontal AoE attack that pulls enemies together so you could easily connect all your slashes. If you press the attack button while this is going off, then you'll do even more slashes. Once upgraded, the follow-up slashes will become faster. This ability is so good to shred that will gauge. Next up is Wicked Wheel. This attack launches you and any small enemies in the attack radius into the air. Once upgraded, it'll do even more hits. This is a really cool skill as it gets you higher in the air than your normal jump. Our third iconic ability is Rook's Gambit. It'll start off by dodging backwards and then swiping your enemy. Now if you evade an enemy's attack while dodging backwards, you'll do 2 swipes. Once upgraded, your normal swipe will become the 2 swipes. If you evade like before, you'll now do a vertical spin, slashing enemies multiple times. The special evade also lowers this skill's cooldown by 50%, and I highly recommend using this instead of your regular evade button when you can for free damage and will damage. Now before we move on to the ultimate ability, I just want to state that these 3 iconic abilities can be used in mid-air. Lastly, our ultimate ability, Aerial Blast. This ultimate pauses time and sends out a tornado that'll track your enemies. It does continuous damage and even lifts smaller enemies into the air. You could treat this skill as a damage over time, and if you get the full value off, then it does a significant amount of will damage. The original ability lasts 15 seconds, and once upgraded it'll last 22 seconds, which is a lot more free damage. The only downside is formidable foes and bosses can't be picked up, and instead they'll be concealed by the tornado, making it harder for you to see what the enemy's doing, and this leads to unnecessary damage taken. Now that we cover all our iconic abilities, let's go over some fun combos you could do with your new toys. One of my favorite combos is utilizing Deadly Embrace on medium and large enemies to get the height boost and then come crashing down with a down thrust. Not only does this look really cool, it does good damage and it doesn't utilize any iconic ability. I mostly use this when I'm waiting for my cooldowns to come back. Now when you have your cooldowns, Rising Flames, Wicked Wheel, and Scarlet Cyclone is my go-to. You'll want to start off with Rising Flames to lift the enemies, then Wicked Wheel to bring yourself up, then Down Thrust and Scarlet Cyclone to finish off anyone who's still alive. You could extend this combo by doing Magic Burst before the Down Thrust, but no one lives this combo as is, so it's just overkill. There's a bunch of combo potential out there, so let me know which is your favorite that you've been using. Hopefully this video helped you understand how to use Garuda efficiently, and if you enjoyed this video, consider checking out the one on screen. Until the next video, I'll see ya.